All right, we are green. Brothers and sisters, we're a little bit earlier than usual, but you need to see this update. This is a very big one. There is no exaggeration. This is massive news coming out of the DOJ. This one is why we fight, guys. So as you're tuning in here, make sure you send this one out because you remember that case where the DOJ was charging a CZ Scorpion as a short-barreled rifle and getting NFA charges? Yeah, there's a massive update, and Bondi just made a move you guys need to know about. So make sure you share this with everybody. Send this out. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on because we are fighting. We are winning. This is how we do this. Guys, everything I'm about to show you will be linked in the description box below. All right. We're going to dive right into this, and I know a lot of you guys are caught off a little off guard because it's a little earlier than normal. But this right here is a good one, and we're audio, video good. Excellent. So we're going to jump over really quickly into my X profile. This is at Braden LOA, and this is important because A, follow me there so you can be up to date on this and take part in the conversation. And B, you can tag me when you're thinking AG Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel in the response when you tweet or you post this stuff out because this needs to be reinforced. All right, let me bring you up to speed if you are not familiar. You guys are in early and I appreciate it. All right, so this is from April 13th, a little bit of backstory. This is incredibly important. Yeah, get the hand claps and the thumbs up ready. Update. The Justice Department is charging a gun equipped with a stabilizing brace as a short-barreled rifle and a pistol. Now that was on April 13th. Now the reason that this is so important until I show you this is we did a video on that day and the idea was that the district attorneys and the U.S. attorneys were defying Bondi's orders and you had rogue elements in the middle that were basically doing what they want with gun control in a Biden era holdover holdout kind of pattern. That was the entire point. So let's fast forward to the next day when this article came out from Zero Hedge. And guys, if you're just now tuning in, what I'm about to show you is a massive win. All right. Man with CZ Scorpion charged with pistol brace ownership may set dangerous precedent. We did the entire video. This was the case U.S. versus Toronto. As you can see on screen, there was a letter, and this was spearheaded by FRAC and GOA. Okay, those are both 2A right-supporting groups. And honestly, they both deserve a follow, to be quite candid. Now, this was sent to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and it was about the arbitrary charge for pistol stabilizing braces. Again, this was on the 13th they posted about it. They sent it on March 6th. All right, let me fast forward to where we are right now. Update. Sorry, that's the one I just read to you. Sorry, wrong tab. That's the charge itself. Count 1. This part right here on the very top. On or about June 29, 2023, Taylor Toronto knowingly possessed a firearm, namely a CZ Scorpion, or Scorpion CZ short barrel rifle. This is not registered him as an NFA item and transfer record. That's count 1, okay? The NFA charge. Look what just happened this morning. GOA. Thank you at AG Pam Bondi and USA Ed Martin for taking control away from rogue DOJ bureaucrats and for withdrawing the Biden-era gun control charge. It has been withdrawn. Let me show you this. Oops. This is the Toronto case, as you can see, as of this morning. The United States, by and through its attorney, the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, respectfully moves to dismiss count 1 of the superseding indictment without prejudice. The government is moving to dismiss count 1 in the interest of justice. Let me show you count 1 again. Count 1 right here. On or about Scorpion CZ short barrel rifle. Can I highlight that? Yeah. This is not registered as a NFA item and transfer record. That's count 1. Here's the post and the request this morning. Count 1 completely removed for the interest of justice. Guys, that is a massive deal. And the reason this is a massive deal is because you guys spread this out. You brought attention to this. What I've been saying on this channel, on these videos, is they have a rogue element inside the DOJ. They have middle-level attorneys middle-level attorneys who are going against the attorneys general, pushing gun control from the Biden-era holdout perspective. And they now have 2 cases, that they've put forward letters from U.S. attorneys. We've done videos. We've done loud campaigns on them. We've talked about them from GOA to FRAC to FPC to NAGR. And Quite literally, both cases, the suppressor and now the Toronto case, have been removed. Guys, we have literal evidence looking at us in the face right now that you have a lot of letters and a lot of attacks on the Second Amendment happening from rogue elements in the middle of the DOJ. And then the second time in the Trump administration, the DOJ head, AG Pam Bondi, has now issued this to basically pull it from the record. That's the second time this has happened. It makes sense. This also stacks with other inside confidential sources that I can't go down all the stuff we talked about, but it's developing. This checks out on multiple different ways with multiple different conversations with multiple different times. Now you're seeing it right here. Bottom line, your activism, you being involved and you tagging the right people on X profiles like this gets this stuff removed. Now the reason this is so massively important from the actual lawsuit, count one could be attack on charge for anybody if they decide that they're going to randomly reinforce their pistol brace rule even though it's been enjoined. It's been stopped, cold dead turkey, but they were basically putting it forward anyway. It's been removed. Now they don't have a precedent. So those middle level bureaucrats in the DOJ, the ATF, they don't have precedent to do it to you. This is massively important, guys. And if you're just now tuning in, let me give you a recap real quick and then I'll look into the comments really quickly. Sorry, I saw a chat. So if you're not familiar, you're just now tuning in, this is the Toronto case with count one where they were charging a person with a pistol brace as a NFA item, which is against the law or against the rule and the ruling in the court. FRAC and GOA both sent letters and said, hey, this is probably not cool. Let's not do this. You had the count one right there, and then you just had count one this morning removed in the interest of justice per the actual letter from the United States Attorney Edward R. Martin. Guys, this right here, you need to tag me, you need to respond to it, you need to share this out because this is proof you are winning. This is how you are wielding your new power, and this is incredible. All right, let me jump into the comments real quick. When will CRS be released? I do not know that. Paul says, keep fighting. We can win this. Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm just going to kind of go through the chat real quick. Swamp is still there. Now, Lee, here's the thing. I agree that the swamp is still there, but you also have to keep in mind, 2 of the ATF gun control heads have been fired at a CEO level. The Deputy Director, Marvin Richardson, and Pamela Hicks, I can't remember what the title was. It was like Chief Law Officer or something like that. But the person who was orchestrating all the gun control, they're both fired. Okay? And I'm having conversations where you guys are going to like where this is going. Okay? Just trust me. It's happening. Okay. Let me jump over here. All smoke and mirrors. I don't agree. I don't think this is smoke and mirrors. I think this is legitimately solid. I'm just kind of going through the chats real quick. Without actions, it's idle lip service. This is actually an action. I mean, it was actually just removed. I just showed you right here. It was literally just dropped. That is physically action. SCOTUS do their job. Yeah, I'd be down with that. It's nice to see we have an AG standing up for our Second Amendment rights. Her record in Florida had me concerned, rightfully so, to be quite candid, but it is nice to see this, and we are still good on audio. So, guys, where we are at right now, and thank you so much, Reagan, for that super chat. I just saw it come through. I appreciate it. What we're looking at right now is a battle within the DOJ at the top setting the standard and the middle resisting, and the middle is getting smoked. You now got two cases where they've sent letters, and we've brought up questions about that, and now all of a sudden it gets removed. Guys, keep it up. What makes this happen is your involvement. Send this out, spread this out, share this out, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are pushing that 2A wherever you go in this beautiful world, and I will see you guys on the next one. I've got so much stuff. I'll see you then.